Good morning, Rebelle Rally fans. Welcome to Rebelle Rally Live, presented by Toyota. This is day 7 of the world's longest competitive off-road rally in the United States. Today is presented by Total Chaos. I'm Alyssa Roenigk, and along with Matthew Johnson and Katy Talyancich, we are your guides here at Base Camp 3 at Pirate Cove on the California side of the Colorado River in Needles. And Matthew, as you can see, there's an earlier start to the day today. Teams are taking off the line one at a time, starting at 6:30. And the reason for the early start time is we have a big day today. This is always my favorite day. It is Dunes Day here at the Rebelle Rally.
It's a lot of people's favorite day out there, and there's a good handful of our drivers that just can't wait to get out there and show off how good their vehicle is and how good they are at driving in the sand and on and on. And fortunately for you guys, we still have a hell of a competition in nearly every class out here, and many things are going to be decided in the sand.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think is very cool about the way the competition is unfolding this year is that not only do we have one Dunes Day, but we have two, because this is the start of our second marathon leg. So the teams are leaving here from Base Camp 3. They are largely transiting down to Glamis in Southern California, the largest sand dunes in the state. And once they get there, they will have a long day. There's going to be a lot of conversation within those cars about fuel consumption. They're going to have to make big decisions about the X checkpoints and the regular routes. We'll have Emily Miller on in a little bit to go over more about the course details. And then they will self-camp down in Glamis. And then on Friday, tomorrow, is the final day.
I love it. It's going to be so much fun for them, but also if we've had a little bit of rain in the recent couple weeks, the dunes are going to be a little easier to get around and less critical about the fuel consumption because they'll have the power to stay higher in the sand. We'll talk more about those details as we go, but I would love to show everyone some highlights from day 6 from yesterday.
Yeah, so Matthew, yesterday again, a transit day, getting everyone down here to Southern California. As I said, we are just on the California side of the Colorado River in Needles. But talking to the teams, there were still some really tricky black diamond checkpoints. I talked to some really great navigators who were surprised to click their buttons and have a couple of wide misses yesterday.
Wide misses, yeah.
Yeah, so we had some teams do better than they expected, and then some teams come in a little disappointed with the way they performed. And I think also there was just some mental fatigue to day 6 yesterday.
Well, it was just another long day, and this was a tough one because you got to, right out of the gate, you're turning your brain on and you're super focused, and then you have a 2.5 hour drive or something without kind of doing much. And then you've got to, towards the end of the day, get re-engaged and super focused and try to get all the points that are out there. After this, we are going to get by the leaderboard and talk about how everyone did yesterday, but what keeps it exciting for us is that everything is still out here to play for. I see a lot of green there. The desert is not often green. The desert is usually not green, but as you could tell, we've had some waves of rain come through this year.
Yeah, we actually took a little detour on our drive down here from Base Camp 2. We went out onto the dry lake bed, and it wasn't as dry as it typically is, right? It's just, certainly the driving on this year's Rebelle Rally in this 10th anniversary edition has been a little trickier because of the rain ruts, because of the rain from 2 weeks ago, and then of course the rain we got on the rally 2 days ago, I believe that was now.
Definitely. And roads that are trails that look like they'd be good roads, if there's been a lot of rain, the rain will tend to flow down the rut in the side of the road and then just carve that out so bad that the road's unusable, and you have to find different routes to get up different places.
You know, when we talk about the mental fatigue of this event, we also have to remind you there's an extra day added to competition this year. We talk about the 8 days of competition. In some respects, depending on how you look at it, there was 9 days of competition because we had that prologue day on Thursday, the transit day, but the teams treat that like a real competition day so they can sort of see, they can remember how to play the game, see where they're at. So they have been head down, heads in this game for 9 straight days. While I remember Susan Piper saying in your interview with her, this is not just a driving competition, it's not just a navigation competition. This is a camping competition. It's a teamwork competition. It is an emotional intelligence competition. And to stay focused like that for now 8 straight days is tough.
It really is. The best kind of competitor is really a Swiss Army knife of different tools to deal with different situations.
All right, so we saw a little bit of the driving yesterday, but let's see how the teams performed yesterday. And something I noticed looking at the day 5 results in the 4x4 class is that Sandra Lee and Lauren Judy, the 182, had a phenomenal day yesterday, and that really helped them in the overall standings. We'll see them show up on
day 6.
Sorry, on day 6.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, they
we'll
did.
See them show up on page 2.
They had a mega finish, but if we look here, and by the way, Nina Barlow, Tara Lynn Pederite, they 92% they got yesterday in one day of the score. But right in behind them, we had 3 teams getting 90%. So anyway, like I said, I've been just secretly talking about keeping an eye on Laura Weinless and Penny Dale. You see they keep marching their way up.
They've crawled up every single day.
And where are they going today?
Into the dunes.
And what is Laura Weinless amazing at?
And what does she do?
Dunes.
Teach dune driving.
Yes.
A lot of the women out on this rally have been trained by Laura. And also in 5th place there's Shelby Hall, a phenomenal dune driver as well. At this point in the competition, I've sort of looked at the first 6 days of competition as a way to sort of get to this point. And if you look at those top 6 teams, about 40 points separate them. Those 6 teams are all still in contention for not only the podium, but I would argue the win. Something can happen with any of those competitors. And so I think the next 2 days, the next 2 days is going to decide the winner of the Rebelle Rally. And let's take a look at the top X-Cross competitors as well. All right, so if you look, we've talked a lot about the Team 200, Matthew, and they have, again, they have pulled away, but we've said it a million times. You have to get your car, your third teammate, across the finish in order to win this event. So right now, Team 200 is in really good shape, provided nothing drastic happens over 2 really tough days in the dunes. But look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Yeah, still definitely in the competition there. Emmy Hall and Kendra Miller. Emmy's got a lot of confidence in the dunes, maybe a little bit more than Becca Donahue, but both are skilled in the dunes. I'm curious what Emily might tell us in a little bit about the conditions to expect in the dunes, because if we had some rain in a couple weeks ago, these X-Cross cars are going to get places a little easier than maybe they're used to. But I'm always keeping my eye on 4th place there. Kathleen Gardner is a rookie, so not to forget, not to count them out. They've been showing up really strong this year.
I'm really excited to see how the X-Cross drivers do in the dunes and the navigators. This has always been my favorite part of the Rebelle, so I have the same nervous excitement as the competitors. And as they're taking off the line here, as you said, Matthew, we are joined here in studio by the creator of the Rebelle Rally and the creator of this stage of the Rebelle, and Emily Miller. And Emily, it was fun listening to you in the drivers' meeting this morning, because it sounds like there are some very interesting twists, and as you like to call them, plot twists, in the competition and the way you designed the competition this year.
Yes, I really spent a lot of time this year looking at what's happened over the last 10 years in those dunes and creating a challenge that really pushed the top teams and the good sand drivers that really know what they're doing, yet was actually a great opportunity for plenty of points out there for people who don't have any sand experience. That's not easy to do. So it took a lot of time, took a lot of evaluation, and then really thinking about the game of points. So there's definitely a plot twist for the X-Cross today, really for all the teams, and it's the first time we've separated the course like we're going to do today. So I think the best thing I can do is walk you through what it looks like. Yeah. So the first thing that they're going to take on is they're going to do an on-route enduro that takes them from where we are in Pirate Cove down to what's called Glamis Beach Store, just past there in the washes of the Imperial Dunes. The Imperial Dunes are the largest dune complex in America. And they actually extend out over the Mexico border and down into the Sonora Desert, and they're huge dunes down there. So the distance is 354 kilometers at the shortest distance, but a lot of that is eaten up by that transit. They're going to stop in Blythe at the Shell station. They are going to fuel, but it's still about 50 more miles to get to the dunes. These teams are going to have to conserve fuel today. Big name of the game today, fuel conservation. Good light on your throttle. You can't just over horsepower everything in the dunes today. It's going to be about finesse. So when they arrive in the dunes, they have approximately 100 kilometers or 60 miles of dunes and areas around the dunes. So it's not all big, heavy dune crossings, but there is a lot. So let's go ahead and, actually you can see there on the map, it says X on the right-hand side, that east side. And then that is where they are going to start this morning, the teams that are in the hunt. So let's look at the Mapbox map first. And so we're starting here at Pirate Cove. Actually, down in the distance, you can see Lake Havasu. And so we're right on the Arizona border. Pirate Cove Resort, amazing place, amazing hosts for this event and for our final events. They are on Highway 95. They are headed south. Now look at those mountains off to the right. We call this the heart of the Mojave Desert. It is majestic and vast. The mountains are big. It's extremely rugged. Beautiful, beautiful place. They've just passed Vital Junction, which is actually the turnoff to Parker, Arizona, and Havasu. They're now running along on pavement on that road book down the Colorado River. Down in the distance, you can see a little town coming up, and that is Blythe, California. Right there, fuel stop right there. Then they're going to take a right-hand turn. Now they are on Highway 78, and they are going to keep running down this pavement, but now you're going to see they're going to run out of this farming area in this kind of lush valley, and you can now start to see the dunes at the top of your screen. Now, right there is where they come out and they finish their on-time enduro tomorrow for day 8. So they're going to see this stuff again tomorrow, but do it differently. They're going to do it off-road. They hit the dunes. Okay, that's the west side of the dunes. Right there, you're looking south, and that's that dune complex. Really long. It doesn't look that big. It's massive. So once they've gotten to this green checkpoint where it says start, this is the X-Cross route. What they're doing is they're headed into the washes, heading out actually towards some of our old base camps, and they have a series of checkpoints here. I believe 5 checkpoints. 1, 2 right here, right where you see them turn. The question is, who is going to drive it and cross those dunes into the next wash?
Across the dunes.
Yeah,
yes.
Or who's going to back out and drive out the washes and then drive back in?
Those dunes are tricky because they're little. They look easy, but you're easy to get hung up.
Really easy to get hung up. And so now they come back. This is interesting. Plot twist, green checkpoint, turn in, cap heading, black checkpoint right there. Up, that is Oldsmobile Hill. But you see how it made that heart shape?
Yes.
Checkpoint's not on Oldsmobile Hill, but you need to climb Oldsmobile if you're in a stock car to be able to access where the checkpoint is. A lot of people are just going to assume it's Oldsmobile. They're going to hop up there. They're going to be like, I'm going to see the blue checkpoint. Oops, not there. But what's different is they are not going through the sand highway to get there. They are actually having to cross the dunes in the washes to get to Oldsmobile. We have not done that before. And the X-Cross have that option too.
Oh, great.
So we will see how that goes. Now what they've done is they have hit a central green checkpoint that you just saw. And what they've done is now it's out of order for everyone. The regular route was easy through the dunes. It was just staying over on that west side that you can see. It's pretty flat. But now these are all out of order checkpoints. Look at all those dunes.
Wow.
But you have lots of options. There are about 10 checkpoints. Now they're hitting this green CP. Right at that green CP, they have a notice board. They have one more checkpoint. They don't see the coordinates on their CP guide. The X route or the X checkpoint for this final deal, which is down in this area, that is actually given in a different coordinate format that we have ever done. It's not, it's in decimal degrees. That means you have to convert the decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds, or degrees, decimal minutes. If they don't know how to do that, they're going to have to go for the regular checkpoint. If they know how to do that and convert, they get to do it. And surprise, surprise, they have a really tough checkpoint in what we call the shitty dunes. Sorry, I think you can say that on a live webcast.
That's just what we call them.
Yeah, that is what we call them.
Genuinely their name.
Yeah, but it is a tough day. But it is a strategic day. The name of the game will be risk versus reward.
It also sounds like, I'm talking to a lot of the rookie teams and even some of the teams that aren't rookies, but don't spend a lot of time out west driving dunes. I talked to a couple of teams, the 104, they drive a lot, rock crawl. They love to rock crawl. And she's like, I'm really trying to switch my brain to the way that I want to drive, the kind of driving I like to do, to drive in the dunes. But it sounds like you've really created a day that could, in some ways, bite the teams that have so much experience, because there's going to be some expectations. Oh, we're going to the swing set. Oh, we're going to Oldsmobile Hill. And they're not. You've taken some handrails away from them.
They're not going to the Veterans Memorial. They're not going to the swing set. They've learned all that. This is to challenge them. But there are a good, I would say, 15 checkpoints out there that really a lot of those teams that don't have the experience can get. But the X checkpoints and the ones deeper in the dunes are really going to challenge them, not only to drive them, but to navigate and not just use these handrails. The other thing we did today is we removed Gecko Road on the map because they've used this as this like handrail that helps them, and so much that they didn't cap heading. Oh yeah,
it's super helpful, especially when you're learning the dunes out there. You can see the tiny little twists and turns in Gecko Road, and you're able to measure off of those. And now that you can't see the Gecko Road on the map, everything is about dead reckoning navigation. You have to get out, take that heading, and you have to be a good enough driver to go exactly where you're navigating. Go right there. You're like, all right, I'm driving over that, and you have to be a good enough navigator. And it's such a teamwork moment, right? Because you have to know each other so well. You don't want to tell your driver to drive something she can't drive and get stuck and spend the next hour and a half digging.
Correct.
And so it's a nice little plot twist, Emily Miller.
It is a plot twist, and I designed the course this way. I designed the course to take a heading and drive the distance. I didn't create the course to do that and then go out, in, out, in, out. Once you go off heading, it becomes harder to actually get the checkpoint. So I'm hoping I'm doing them a favor. They don't see it that way right now.
The kindness of Emily Miller and her course design. Well, Emily, I know, as I say every morning, you're so busy. You're the busiest person here at the Rebelle Rally. Thank you so much for taking the time to go over the course today. A very exciting course. And talking about strategy, Katy, what kind of strategy do these teams have for us out there today?
Hey guys, thank you so much. This is my favorite day of the Rebelle Rally, and I can't believe they've got 2 days of dunes ahead of them. Nicole Patel and her army of awesomeness are down there waiting for us. It's a little bit like when your mom says to you and your cousins are arriving and they're a little bit naughty and she tells you not to do the things they tell you to do. That's how it feels when we're heading down to Glamis. Good morning. I'm so glad I got to see banged into these two last night and they said, please catch us on the start line. Can you tell me why?
I wanted to take a split second to wish my sweet husband a happy 4th anniversary and to thank him for lending me to the Rebelle Rally for the last 3 out of those 4 years.
And what is he doing on his own to celebrate your anniversary without you?
He's going to see one of my favorite artists, Jason Isbell, at Shoals Fest this weekend.
How are you guys feeling about heading down to the dunes? It's my favorite day on the rally.
Yeah, I think we're excited to get to the dunes. We had some recent practice in the dunes, and we were really looking forward to getting back into the sand in Glamis.
Awesome. Well, have a good time, and I'm going to see you down there. We're straight after the show. We're going to race down there, Becky Brophy and I, with one of our photographers to get everything in action down at the dunes. Good morning, Katy. How are you feeling about your strategy in the dunes?
Stoked. We're gonna see how much Lisa wants to drive in the dunes. They're not her favorite, but we're gonna give it a go. And if it, gets to be where she's like, I'm done driving, you take over, then dunes are kind of my thing. So I'm ready to go out and hit some big bowls.
Well, you ladies have a great time out there. If you're watching at home and you've never driven in sand, it's just like skiing, but in a car. Okay, Jill, hello. Tell me quickly, I can walk and talk. What is your strategy for Dune Day today?
Don't do anything stupid. That's the goal.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, in a truck like this, it's always easy to get stuck, and it's going to be hot down there, and so we don't want to do that because digging really stinks when it's hot.
So hopefully I won't be down there getting hits of you with your Max tracks out.
No, you missed us yesterday with our Max tracks when we got stuck in a wash, so yeah, you missed that.
Okay, well, I'll be down there looking for all of you in a couple of hours. It's about 3 hours down to Glamis. And hello, good morning. How are you all feeling about my favorite day on the Rebelle?
I'm feeling pretty nervous. We haven't had time together in the dunes yet, so I'm pretty nervous about that. But we're gonna definitely do our best and get as accurate in many points as we can during the day, not get stuck, and come back hopefully with more points than the previous days.
Well, here's how I look at it if you're feeling nervous. There's a beach here with water. We're going to go down to the beach in Glamis. We're going to have a lovely day at the beach, and then we'll all meet back here for a swim, right?
I like it. We will need some free, beautiful views after a long day in the dunes for sure.
Awesome, thank you very much. We're going to show you the tent tonight. Steph Prater has outdone herself with this year's 10th anniversary gala. I'm going to send you back to Alyssa and Matthew. Take it away.
Thank you, Katy. That's not the easiest thing for her to say. I don't know what it's like to have a Kiwi accent trying to say your name. Thanks a lot, Katy. So as you've heard, today is brought to you by Total Chaos. And she started out with a vehicle with Total Chaos equipment on it.
If there was ever a day.
Yeah, this is the day. It's not only brought to you by Total Chaos because they make a lot of incredible off-road equipment, often used by Toyotas, but available for other makes. They are down there to support us in the dunes. So Total Chaos will be getting our media team safely around, giving some rides to our VIP guests, and just really showing up for us for support to keep everything safe and be able to get to teams if we need to in a hurry down there in the dunes. So thank you so much, Total Chaos.
Yeah, and thank you all who have been sending us questions for the live show. We have a question, Matthew, from one of our viewers who are asking, what does the red 10L or 15L mean when I see it on the score of my favorite team?
Well, the L designates that the team checked in late. And so I don't know if the 10 or 15 is the checkpoint number or if that's the points number.
I believe it's the number of points once the if you're late to your checkpoint and then go back and get to the checkpoint, you get a 5 point.
And check in.
Yeah.
So it basically is telling you need to look into the comments to see what the penalty is. There's probably a penalty associated with that checkpoint, so look over to the right column for penalties.
Yeah, and then anything that's in red, you'll see if you didn't make it to the green checkpoint, then anything between that and the next checkpoint, if those scores are also in red, what that means is those points they're not counting, essentially.
Not getting them.
You have to get your green checkpoint. I talked to Sabrina and Michelle Kirby yesterday, Sabrina Howes and Michelle Kirby, and they didn't realize that when they got to one of their green checkpoints, they were 2 minutes late. They spent a lot of time getting 3 of the next checkpoints, none of those points
without
counted.
getting the green.
And then went to get the next green. So it's really important. Emily really stressed this morning in the meeting, pay attention to the open and close times, because if you go and get a green before it's open, doesn't count. You have to go back.
Yep.
And if you miss, even by, Chrissy says, we give you the full minute. We give you the full minute. And then you have to get that green in order to get the points in between.
I'm told that Katy has somebody else for us. So if you want to send us more questions on social media, please do. But we're going to go right now back to Katy.
You got to get... Oh, hello? I'm here. I've got a rare sighting here of an animal that might be extinct one day, and it's Chris Wu, our technical director. Please stop. We never get to talk, and I need you to... I'm going to fall over in the sand. We need to talk a little bit about what your job is on the Rebelle. Can you tell the people at home what you do?
A little bit of this and that. My job really is the technical director of the vehicle, so work with questions during the year on the competitors and
Lots of emails about helmets, etc., right?
et cetera is a good way to put it. Some emails, some conversations, and then get everybody to the start line, and hopefully everything is savvy.
Now, you're at the start line this morning. You've got a big grin on your face. Are you messing with these competitors' heads?
No, why would I do that?
And we'll just leave it at that too. Thank you very much for your moment in time on the Rebelle Rally 10th anniversary. We got to talk to Chris Wu. Now, I'm coming back to you. Let me have a quick chat to Toby, who did some dune training this year with Emily. How do you feel about how the dune training is going to affect your time today?
I think it's going to really positively impact how we do in the dunes this year. It made us feel a lot more confident. We feel more comfortable. We know kind of more of the safety things. We were able to drive around in the dunes during Rebelle U with a lot of like the top competitors like Laura Wanless and Tara Lynn. And it's kind of helped us kind of see what they do and see that dunes don't need to be that scary, especially when we're not used to them. And yeah, we're very excited about it.
Very nice under pressure with one car in front of you off the start line, one at a time, in 1 minute only. Hey, have a great time and we'll see you down there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's the great thing about the Rebelle. The top competitors, I'm going to stay here, ladies, come on down. They help everyone. So some of the ladies that went off the line first this morning have trained a lot of these women. Have you done a Rebelle Dune training?
Yeah, we did a Rebelle U training in September, so we got a chance to kind of get some of the navigation. That was my first time actually doing some driving in the dunes. A little nerve-wracking, so excited to see what we do today. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of the points. Definitely looking forward to hopefully getting at least one black. That'd be fun.
That'll be awesome. We'll see you down there shortly. Take it easy. Okay, back to you, Matthew and Alyssa.
Cool. Thanks, Katy. Actually, we were just looking there at Sandra Lee and Lauren as one of our Toyota teams. They were 5th overall yesterday. Typically, they've been kind of finding their footing this year in the Rebelle, but to see them suddenly show up, they put in some solid work yesterday. It's not easy to be 5th on the day, especially on a complicated day like yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. A top 5 finish was fantastic for them. So, we've been talking about the checkpoints today. Let's take a look at what the 4x4 class has in store for it. So this is day 7. They have a total of 33 checkpoints that they can plot on their map today, but 23 collectible. That means there's going to be 10 opportunities to choose those X checkpoints. That's a lot of decision making. They have 12 opportunities for those black diamond checkpoints, and they added a half hour to today. This is a big day. There's a lot of transit. They're going to be spending up to 100 kilometers just in the dunes, so they have 10 and a half hours to get from this point to self-camp at the final checkpoint, final green checkpoint of the day out in Glamis.
We'll have a look over at the X-Cross checkpoints as well and see what they're looking like. So 26 total checkpoints to have plotted this morning, 22 that they could collect. Obviously the 4 greens to keep us organized and moving down the road. The blues are these beautiful blue flags out there flapping in the sand in the dunes. There's a bit of wind out there today, and it's nice to have some wind down there, but they're looking at 17, 18 knots, so that's 25 miles an hour or so. And then the 9 black diamond checkpoints there for X-Cross.
All right, so as we take a look at the teams heading off to the most exciting day on the Rebelle Rally, Dunes Day, stay right here while we hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back with more from Rebelle Rally Live.
We're always searching for new air to breathe. We get lost, find our way, and choose to get lost again. We are the Detourists. Toyota trucks. Let's go places.
The Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road navigation rally in the U.S. It is remote, unique, and extremely challenging. When we launched the Rebelle, we needed a robust, multi-function tracking system to serve as the backbone for course and safety operations. Unique to the Rebelle, it also has to interface directly with our real-time scoring system. The tracker must be reliable, durable, and never fail, combined with superior customer support. We chose Iridium-based YB tracking. It's the best product and the most experienced people. YB tracking has been a critical component of our safety and success since day one.
Welcome back on this beautiful morning to Rebelle Rally Live presented by Toyota. This is day 7 presented by Total Chaos.
If you were watching our commercials just then, they made a really cool commercial. I thought it was a Toyota commercial to start with until I saw Lexus in there, and you could just see all the different evolutions of platforms of Toyota that Total Chaos has parts for to make your truck awesome, basically off-road. I sure love mine. I'll tell you more about mine later. Right now, let's go jump down to Katy and see who she has to chat with.
Hey, I'm here with Alison Sloat, and she's saying happy birthday to Ray.
Happy birthday, Ray. We'll see you later.
Happy birthday. And we've also got Betty here, and she is looking, we brought the blob with us. It's kind of reminiscent of a chicken nugget. It's like being rolled in the flour, and they're heading down to Glamis to be rolled in the salt and pepper. That mud is not coming off that vehicle, but we're putting that day in the back seat. Good morning, ladies. Look at the organisation in here. I mean, I see a lot of checkpoints plotted.
Yep.
You're looking very confident.
Well, excited to finish the last 2 days. We have a game plan of what we're going to do. We aren't from out here, so we're not too used to the sand dunes, but we're going to get what we can and team up with a couple of other teams, and we'll see how we do.
It's just a day at the beach.
Just a day at the beach. Enjoy it. Enjoy the sand, and yeah.
Have fun, ladies. We'll see you down there. Let's have a quick chat to the two Rebeccas. We know Rebecca Donaghy loves the sand, but she's got a rookie this year. How are the Rebeccas doing this morning, heading down to one of our favourite places?
Well, we are pretty late off the line, so, you know.
She's saying they're late off the line, so I'll walk with you.
Late off the line. We're going to have lots of tracks in front of us, which is great, but also lots of tracks in the sand.
Lots of tracks in front of them, which is good.
But then also bad.
But also bad.
Because it's going to be all chewed up.
Because it's going to be all chewed up. Rebecca, you're going to do great. And new Rebecca is going to do great as well. You have fun. I'll see you down there. Can't wait. The Rebeccas heading down to the dunes with a rookie Rebecca and seasoned Rebecca. Good morning, Danielle. I see an enduro set up right here. Are you starting with an enduro?
We are starting with an enduro today. Yeah, right, taking us to Glamis. And I'm a little bit nervous about navigating through Glamis.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fun. We have had fun every single day, even on our really bad days. And so it's been super cool.
There have been no bad days. Just
just no points or less points, but we've had a great time.
Hey, you just nailed it, because today is brought to you by Total Chaos, and every time I talk to Nicole Patel, she says no bad days, rad days only. Back to you, Matthew and Alyssa.
Thanks, Katy. And for those of you who are playing Katy Talyancich bingo at home, you can go ahead and cross a chicken nugget reference off your card.
I love that.
Thanks, Katy. Yeah, and I think the competitors, those who are here working at camp and get to stay here at Pirate Cove for the next couple days are pretty amped. It's exciting as Dune Day is. It's pretty tough to leave this place today. It's a beautiful morning. It's a first morning we've been able to come out here without a beanie on.
Yeah, and for the first year in 10, I'm not going to be down there in the sand. I'm going to let you guys go and do the hard lifting down there. I'm going to stay here and anchor the table down. So I'm excited for the next couple days. We're going to have a lot of really fun stuff to hop back and forth.
Yeah.
and bring you from 2 different areas.
Yes, we've been talking a lot about also the game within the game here at the Rebelle Rally and some of the competition within the competition. We have 2, we have this bone stock, we have the rookie competition, we also have the Pennzoil Challenge, and we have the Pirelli Scorpion Tire Challenge. And those are for teams that are running either Pennzoil in their vehicles or those Pirelli tires. And so yeah, so we're going to go down to Katy and see who she has at the start.
Hey guys, I'm here with 103, Dana Beno and Pam Wright, who were in a much newer vehicle last year. And I just asked them why they wanted to come in an older vehicle, and they said because we wanted to do it in hard mode. Do elaborate.
Yeah, so there's nothing like running the Rebelle Rally. First of all, it's very difficult. Second of all, doing it in a 32-year-old vehicle and a manual transmission, and we're off to Glamis in the sand and hoping we get stuck maybe less than 3 times.
If we get stuck more than 3 times, we're going to have a sit down and a drink.
Yeah.
If they get stuck more than 3 times, they're going to have a sit down? Is that what you said?
It's going to take a break. Yeah.
That's a very good strategy. And they also said that if a car alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's not them. Another benefit to having an older vehicle.
Exactly. And no GPS, nothing to turn off.
Simple. I like that. All right, well, you head on down to the start line before I get yelled at. And I am heading down to Glamis myself shortly. Good morning. Oh, Bernard is heading to the dunes. Is he excited?
No.
Bernard's their vehicle, by the way.
He's not excited.
I saw the hood up a little earlier. What's going on? We can walk and talk.
Oh, we can walk and talk. Well, they're still riding. The hood was up because he's a Land Rover, so you got to check everything, you know? We leak coolant, we leak oil, so you just want to make sure that the leak is steady and hasn't increased.
Now, can you tell me what information you have just received that is new?
So there has been an update to CP5X, I believe, in the dunes, so she's just making the corrections so we can plot it on this road book.
Excellent. Thank you for that little tidbit of information. All right, let's have a quick chat to one more team. 211 here. Good morning, ladies. I can see a giant map across your lap, and there's a giant sand dune in the middle of it. What is your strategy? This is my strategy, just to make full sentences. What is your strategy for Dune Day?
Stay on the outskirts. Be smart. Use topography. Last year we were so scared to go in the dunes, and we realized you don't have to be. There's so many checkpoints around, and just use what you see on the map.
Very smart move. Okay, these ladies are taking the smart strategy. Emily Miller was saying earlier that the woman with lead foots today could potentially have gas issues. So it's a bit of a mind game with egos down in the dunes. Back to you, Matthew and Alyssa.
I don't know why that was so funny, but there was just something about the way.
I think we got another good one for bingo.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my
issues.
bingo plotter out and mark
so
that
good.
one off as well.
It's so
Gas
good.
issues.
So 211 there, Jordan Keith and Kathleen Kathleen's a rookie, and that was a really good strategy, don't you think, for the X-Cross to just not get sucked in to going places you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, and they've been doing so well in this competition. Obviously, they have a really great strategy. They know each other well. But the other thing I think they're going to learn today is, since they have some experience in the dunes, they were here last year, is that you can, that car is more capable in the dunes than you think, and you are a more capable driver and navigator. So I'm really excited to talk to them at Self Camp tonight and see how willing they were to challenge themselves a bit. My favorite thing as a driver in the dunes is to slowly inch your way past your comfort zone and expand that comfort zone. And the next thing you know, you're driving some pretty big dunes, you're driving some pretty cool stuff, and you realize that both you and your navigator and your third teammate are capable of it, and it is the best feeling at the end of the day.
Totally. Kathleen Gardner prepared the car with some much larger tire. She's on a larger tire than even she usually has on it. If they can get the air pressures right for the horsepower of the car, they still might find themselves able to go further than expected.
All right, so we have our last few teams off the line this morning. As we said, was an earlier start for the teams. Katy is down at the start. Who do you have now, Katy?
Hey, I've got Rasa Fuller, and she's got Total Chaos, which is very fitting for our Total Chaos Beach Day. And you're in a new vehicle, which you believe is going to do much better in the dunes. Please do tell.
Yeah, that's correct. This truck is also 2004. We've been rallying a 2004 Tacoma, but this one is lighter. It's almost stock except for the Total Chaos and some protection underneath. but it's also got a supercharger, Magnuson supercharger, which it loves, and it is going to go straight up those dunes, going up every hill that I ask it to.
I have never seen you so fizzing on a day of the Rebelle, and I've talked to you a few times in the last 10 years. Okay, on that note, with this awesome new vehicle for Russell, and she's beaming with joy to head to the beach on her Total Chaos suspension. Back to you, Matthew and Alyssa.
You know, in my experience out in the dunes, if you don't have the right tire and the right suspension, you can make up for it with the right horsepower. I tell you that because I was driving a beast of a machine, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, around in the dunes. It was just on snow tires of a pretty low profile, but we had all the power. And if you've got the juice, you can kind of get yourself up on
And
the
if you know how to use the juice.
Yeah, well,
you can also get yourself into a lot of trouble and just dig yourself in and spend a lot of days. One of the really important tools on dunes days is a good shovel.
For sure. Other interesting things about this year down in the dunes is I think they're going to have an easy and beautiful day, easier than they expect, because every other time we're down there, it's been 100 degrees.
It's true. I think the high is 82 today.
Yeah, and if there's been a little bit of rain, I think things are going to be a little easier than people expect, which is going to definitely favor those without a lot of experience in the sand.
Well, and so right after this show, Matthew, Katy, and I are going to get into the Toyota Sequoia and beeline it down for Glamis. And so we have a second show today in the afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. to 2:30. That's going to be a midday competition update live from the dunes. So she and I are going to be down there searching checkpoints, finding stories, talking to the competitors. We have a third show today at 5:30 p.m. and we'll be down in the dunes. We're going to be down at Self Camp. Most of the teams should have checked in by 5:30. They are going to time out right around then. And then tomorrow is the final day here at the Rebelle Rally.
Can't believe we're here already. What an adventure it's been, even for us.
All right, so Matthew, this has been a really fun and exciting day. I'm excited to get down to Glamis. I'm sorry you won't be joining us down there, but we will see you all back here at 2 p.m. Pacific time for Rebelle Rally Live, presented by Toyota.
Out there ready to be explored. And it just got a whole lot easier. So get out there and tackle every terrain. And choose the new Scorpion XDM.